And here we go. What's going on, brother?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing good. Hey, cheers to a Tuesday.
Yes. Cheers to a Tuesday. What you drinking?
Well, I got me some sipping tequila tonight.
Nice. I got myself some Pendleton as always. I'm gonna wait a few episodes. Maybe our next one I'll break out the good stuff.
Break out the $45 bottle.
Yeah, it was totally so. Yeah, full disclosure to our listeners. I have a Pendleton problem. Um, and
It is.
so I collect all the special editions and all the limited. And I was in our local liquor store of wonders here in Texas the other day with my father-in-law, and they had a special edition one in a very nice little wooden case. And I was like, "How much does that cost?" And they were like, "Screw you, amount of money," and put up the old bank account. And I was like, yeah, that'll work. And then I told him, I was like, tell my wife if she comes in here for her rum fix, it's $45. And my father in law goes, his wife is my daughter. Tell her it was $45.
Well, at least the father-in-law has your back. That's
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
he's a good dude. But I might break it out for our next episode, which you sadly won't make, dude. I'm a little
I
bummed
will
out
not.
about.
I will not make that one.
But
No, yeah, no, I was looking forward to meeting Troy, but
yeah, we'll have him back on. But you'll
yeah,
be in there in spirit. We will
I
feel
hey,
your
well, I'll be there somehow.
yeah.
At least there's that.
But yeah, happy Tuesday when we're recording
Tuesday.
this. I guess we're releasing these on Tuesdays. Hell if I know. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure out a schedule once we get rolling, but,
yeah.
we'll try and record always on Tuesdays. So
Yep. By the way,
so
what was it? The Dolphins. You'll know which game, my football guy. The
Dolphins,
Dolphins.
Broncos.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You mean the track meet for the Miami team and the absolute annihilation of
Dude.
the
So
Rocky Mountain team? Yeah, that one?
I'm not a
Yeah, I'm
football guy, and my
familiar.
buddy at the last minute was like, "You got to watch this football game," and I was like, "Okay." And oh my god, like what the
I
hell?
didn't even watch it, like, I was flipping through, the games, and I saw the score, when it was 50 something and I was just like, "Nope, not watching that one at all." Like, that is n no. 'Cause, I mean, the Seahawks played it in the afternoon, and that game was a morning game, so
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, no, I'll turn on the Dolphins." Do I have? I don't this year. Oh, no, I do have the running back is on one of my fantasy teams. So I was like, "Oh, I'll check it out," and I'm like, I'm just gonna skip right past that one because I like watching good football games, like, competitive.
Not
There was
somebody getting the shit kicked out
there
of
was nothing competitive about that game.
them. Fucking all that matters is that so the only football I care about is LSU, go Tigers. And
Go
we beat
Gators.
Arkansas this year, so I don't have to listen to Razorback fans for the next year being like, "Remember that time that we was the only game that we won and it was y'all?" And yeah, I don't have to listen to that for a year, thank God.
Yeah, well, that's good. I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of people, uh, talking some shit to me because I am, born and raised Washington, but I am a Florida Gator fan.
Yeah,
So, it's been a few years since they were good. Um, so, the last few years dealing with other people from, other friends that are fans of people from around the SEC has been, it's been rough. It's been hard
yeah.
on the old heart.
Although, real talk, do we think we are witnessing the fall of the Crimson Tide dynasty?
I don't know that we're witnessing the fall of it. I think we're witnessing a lull in it,
Fair enough.
and, I don't think Alabama will ever truly just go away.
No, no,
They'll
especially with
always
Saban. I mean,
well, yeah, but are they gonna, have the same dominance? No, they're not. you don't win a championship and you lose out on, at least 3 or 4 five-star recruits and a whole bunch of other recruits. I mean, you look at Georgia, they won the championship with, did they have great players? Yes. Did they have a phenomenal defense? Absolutely. Who was their starting quarterback? He was about our age. I mean, he was almost 47 by the time he, graduated and played in his last year. But, um, so, they won because they played as a team and
Yeah.
they relied on their defense heavily, which they should have. I mean, I don't remember how many first round picks they had in off of their defense in the draft last year, but they had a few, and you start winning championships and you start putting people in the first. The guys are going to go there. They want that next level money. If they're those 4 and 5, the high 4-star and the 5-star recruits, they're going to find out. They're going to migrate to those programs that are actively winning, not.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Alabama, a fantastic, fantastic dynasty.
Sure.
But
I'm
I'm
an
not I'm
LSU
not a
fan.
fan.
I hate,
I'm a Gator fan. I
dude. Like,
it hurts me to say that, but you
no,
gotta
you
respect
think
them
it
for what
hurts
they've
you?
done.
We had Saban before them, motherfucker,
Hey, well, we
and
we
then
had
we
Tebow.
lost him. Yeah, y'all did. The best baseball player.
Hey, he was
I'm
the
waiting on
best
that dude
college
to go to
quarterback to
NASCAR.
he was the best college quarterback to ever play the game. You can't tell me he
He
wasn't.
was
He
good. He
he
was
was a
good.
game changer.
See,
You know,
LSU
his
has this, but likewise, LSU has this problem of we never really truly have a quarterback, but we've always got great defense.
Oh, and wide receivers.
Yeah. It's just
I
we
mean,
can
the
never,
wide
for
receivers
some
are
reason,
phenomenal,
find somebody that knows how to throw a freaking ball other than my
right?
boy Joe Burrows.
Yeah. Well, and he came from Ohio State, so was he really your boy?
Ohio's not real. It's like the Mothman.
Mm, no, it's for sure real. I've been there, and the drivers are terrible,
So
terrible.
so I've got a one of my best friends who well, you'll just find out right now. He might be a, guest coming up. But he's from Michigan, and
Oh,
and
he
my
hates
wife.
Ohio. He
Oh,
hates
and
Ohio.
my wife is from like right on the Ohio line, but from the Indiana side.
Mhm.
And anytime I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm in, Richmond. We're gonna go to Ohio for cheaper smokes or whatever." I hope that whole state burns to the ground while you're there. I hate Ohio. He can't stand it, man. He's
Yeah.
those Michigan boys hate Ohio.
Well, and the feeling is absolutely mutual,
That's what I've
it
noticed because I bring
it's
up Michigan to
hilarious.
Ohio people, and they're like, "Screw Michigan." I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
"Damn."
No, it's I mean, and it's not just sports related. It is like the state.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
those 2 states hate each other. Like, if there was another civil war, they would fight on opposite sides.
Oh yeah.
They just
Absolutely.
would.
They
And they would probably
absolutely would.
flip-flop sides,
Yeah.
you know?
But
Okay, this they would take custody. It would be like a custody battle. Okay, this week we're fighting for the North, you're fighting for the South,
yeah.
and then they would just flip-flop.
See, and that's why it's awesome being from up north is we just all hate on Utah and North Dakota and leave it at that.
Try being from the West Coast. There's a lot of states to hate, including your own. Well, I don't
Well,
hate my whole state. I hate, like,
no,
the
Washington,
the western half of
yeah,
the state.
yeah. Well, and
So,
Washington's a little different, but like I would say, even okay, if we take the Northern Rockies and the PNW, or
mhm,
sorry, no, yeah, Pacific Northwest PNW,
yeah.
I would say at the end of the day, the only two states we realistically hate on are Utah, North Dakota, and Western Oregon.
I mean, that's fairly easy. I can
Yeah,
see that. I
I
mean,
mean, because
what
even
rid
Western
what
Washington, y'all got Ballard.
Yeah, I mean, there is Ballard, but, Ballard's yeah. But no, yeah, hating on those states is it's easy because what redeeming quality does North Dakota have?
Yeah, I know. All my roughneck buddies are like, "Oh, I can't wait to go back to Nodak." I'm like, "Why? So you can freeze your ass off for 3 months on an oil field
Mm-mm.
contract, damn near die
No,
of
thank you.
frostbite, and then blow all your money at the bar when you come home? Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, why not? Why not? That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Just
no,
sounds like no, it's not.
no, no, no. It's shout out to the Nodak people though. It is Montanans like to act like we know what cold is, and I have been in Bismarck in the middle of January. Screw that.
Yeah. No,
I
I mean, I've been up in Havre in January, December, January,
oh,
and
dude,
it was so cold, the screen door was frozen shut from the
dude,
outside. It was -75.
anything on the High Line in Montana during the winter. I mean,
It was
just like, oh my god, I had a buddy that was doing construction work up in oh, I cannot remember the name of the town. It might have been Havre,
yeah.
but I was ranching down in Melrose, Southwest Montana, and we had a pretty brutally cold winter. The double digits below zero, wind blowing screw you miles an hour. And he would get back and he's just like, dude, you have no idea what I just went through trying to even figure out how to pour concrete up there as cold as it was, much less even do it. I mean,
Right.
those Highline
Switch
winters are
cameras.
no friggin' joke, dude.
No, no, they're not. They are definitely not. I'm switching cameras.
Do it.
Uh,
Do it. We've
but,
got
I
our,
mean, you can see some very important things in my life, my
yeah,
hats and my beard stuff. So,
your beard
there we
stuff.
go. Beard stuff.
I don't
Turn that
put
down
mine in my
more.
backdrop because I don't need to speak for my awesomeness in the chop category other than Harry talking shit the one time he beat me.
I mean, let's be honest, there is no such thing as awesomeness and chops in the same sentence, sir.
Wow.
You heard it here, folks. You
Wow.
heard it here.
I
I'm
screw
just saying,
you.
it is the worst, the single worst facial hair configuration.
Nope,
But at
nope,
least
nope.
yours are friendly. At least yours are friendly. Unfriendly chops,
I thoroughly
those are
disagree. I cannot stand a long goatee. Or no, no, not a long goatee, a whaler. Whalers look so weird to me.
well, that's just because you can't grow a long hair on your chin.
Dude, you saw my old beard. If I had kept it going,
Mm, I mean, I think I looked pretty good as a whaler.
nah,
Just saying.
you looked
I
like you
mean,
lived in a certain town in Utah where Warren Jeff's old compound is now a hotel.
hey, I've been in that town, and no, I did not look like them.
Dude, is that not the most interesting music? I will not say weird because we love our Colorado City Fest
Oh, no,
music
it wasn't weird
family.
at all. It was
It's
awesome.
interesting though.
It was very, very interesting because of the eclectic mix of people, because, you have fans of the bands that are there, and it's
Yeah.
the year that I went, it was all right around the same genre of band, it was
Yeah, yeah. It
all,
was
it was,
mostly honky
Rhyolite, it was
tonkers.
Page, it was,
Yeah.
it was but the people that showed up
Hmm.
were, they were from all walks of life, and it was fantastic to see
And that's
everybody just come together and interact and be nice and be fun and be human and just forget about everything other than the music, you know?
exactly. But I will say it's the only festival on God's green earth where you'll be playing for honky tonkers, music fans, punk rock fans, and polygamists.
I mean, hey,
And
why
that's not
not?
a bad thing. I'm just
Why
saying,
not?
like, it's an eclectic
Yeah.
group out there.
No, I'm absolutely certain that it is. Oh, I need to make some pop-ups so I can show off how great I looked as a whaler. I'm just saying, it was a great look.
I can't get on the whaler kick, man.
Well, I mean, no one's asking
Uh,
you to. You
no, I'm
have
just
a
saying,
landing you
unless
have a
your name is Ahab or you were cosplaying as Ahab,
Nope.
you probably
No.
don't need to be rocking a whaler.
I disagree. I disagree.
Or your name's Holfer and you're giving me hoot wine and you live in Martinsdale, Montana.
I I can't argue with that because, I mean, that's just fact. Because I mean, that happens.
I was getting ready to say God bless our Hutterite listeners, but let's be honest, they are not
They're not
listening
gonna
to
listen
this.
to this.
No.
They're not. Nope, not at all.
We
I
should get
mean,
a hoot on this podcast just to like,
oh,
oh
that
my
hurt.
God.
That hurt. Don't make me do I mean, that would be cool.
It would be awesome.
That would be rad. That would be so rad.
So, and people won't know this unless they've been like in a part of the country with Hutterites. But I had some of them steal a laptop from me one time and then made me trade 22 shells to get my laptop back.
So they didn't steal it from you. They kidnapped it and
They
held it
kidnapped
hostage.
it and then held it for ransom.
Held it
So
hostage for 22 shells.
they nabbed it out of my truck.
That's hilarious.
And then my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, some of the hoots grabbed it." And I was like, "Okay." So I went up to the colony and I like walk into like the building that like there's no set building, by the way. You just kind of figure out where to go.
Right.
But I'm like, "Hey, I'm looking for this laptop, but also semi want to buy produce off you." There is my laptop, and Jake has seen it. There's no mistaking it. It's got
No,
salmon stickers on it and my initials on it and all that. I'm like,
everything is
"Hey, I need that
Addison.
back." And and they're like, I don't know what you call him, like their leader or whatever. It was like, "That's ours." And I was like, "No, that's
Mm,
mine." He's like, "No, we've had it."
is it yours, sir?
Yeah,
Is it is it
"No, no, you
yours?
haven't."
No.
And he's
No, it's
like,
not.
I was like, "Well, I need that." And he's like, "For some 22 shells." And I was like, "Are you friggin' kidding me? I gotta go friggin' buy 22 shells to get my laptop back." And he's like, "For some 22 shells, I trade it back to you." I'm like, "Oh, you're even
Trade
admitting that
trade
it
it back.
wants back."
Trade it back. I'll
So
trade it back to you.
I
That's
went and got some
awesome.
22 shells, get my laptop back, and he's like, "Would you like to buy some produce?" I'm like, "No, screw
No,
you."
but also yes. Yes,
Yes.
I would.
And then they were
Um,
like, "Do you want some wine?" And I was like, "Yes, I'll take that jet fuel you
I
sell
mean,
called hoot wine."
yeah, wine. Wine is a very loose term, just
Uh,
a FYI for
if you
them.
can start a Volvo with it, it's not. And when I mean Volvo, I mean like a Volvo semi with it. It's not
Mhm.
wine.
Yeah, 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 no,
It's
no.
jet fuel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably the closest thing in the North that we have to actual shine down in the South.
I, I would love to get a moonshiner or a shine aficionado and give them hoot wine and be like, what is more volatile?
Taste it. Right. I mean,
'Cause-
I feel like you probably know some considering where your family's from. I feel
yeah,
like you probably know someone. I
but
mean,
that's a
it's just,
very hard group to get in contact with.
well, I mean, we do have a mutual friend. I don't know
Oh
how
yeah,
yeah, we we have a mutual friend that we could probably
yeah.
talk to.
That would be that should be a Unlikely Brothers podcast goal. What is more flammable and volatile and dangerous, hoot wine or moonshine?
Well, I mean, and then I'm gonna throw, Everclear into the mix because that's the closest thing we have.
Everclear,
I know
Everclear
it's
don't
not
count.
I know it ain't close. I know it ain't close because 'cause I've had shine. I've had
No,
real
it's not
shine.
that it's not close to ever.
It's not the same.
Hoot
I know
wine
it's
and moonshine are like jet fuel, and then Everclear is what they put in the Saturn V rocket to get the Apollo missions to the moon. That's why
mm,
Everclear doesn't count.
well, no. I'm gonna I'm gonna disagree. We're gonna agree to disagree on that one.
Dude, okay, I'll put it this way.
I would rather drink well, I don't know, the shine that I had was actually really damn good. So,
Yeah.
it was and I've had it from Alabama, Mississippi, and I don't know where the last stuff came from, but I got handed a bottle around a campfire one night, and I just looked at it, and it was in a vodka bottle, and the guy that handed it to me said, "That ain't vodka." I said, "Oh, okay. Got it. Understood."
Got it.
And I asked him where he got it from, and he goes, "You know I can't tell you that." I was like, "It was worth a
Oh
shot. I
my
don't know how much
god.
you've had. I don't know how much you've had." Maybe he had had enough that he was gonna tell me.
Oh.
He had not.
So
So, I did not get a Shine hookup.
I will
Um,
say this, the nastiest and most potent thing I have ever had, and I know we're on like a hoot wine versus shine debate here,
yep.
but Dan from Last Train to Juarez, which by the way, shout out to Last Train to Juarez, Phoenix, Arizona, love those guys, great country band. You know,
Yes.
he's Serbian, and it's some sort of like Serbian moonshine wine. It was like hoot wine, moonshine, and friggin' turpentine had a hate child.
That sounds horrible.
Oh, it was nasty going
Why?
down. And he's like, "Oh yeah, my uncles will pour this on a table and set it on fire." And I'm like, "What the frick?" Like, oh wait,
Well,
we're
I
not
mean,
SEC. What the fuck is what I literally thought.
no, no, we're not in any mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was like,
My face is so fucked up.
dude, fucking that was the nastiest shit I have ever drank. I have never gotten so I won't even say buzzed, like instantly drunk off of a shot of something. It was
Well, I mean,
and he's laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I drink this all the time." I'm like, are you no, no, humans should not drink this, period."
alright. Good to know that I will never drink anything that Dan hands me. Got it.
No, you gotta try it once.
No, I do
Yes,
not.
yeah. You know
If
what?
it's
If my liver had to deal with it, so does yours.
oh, no, sir. Mm-mm. I'm smarter than you. As 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 evidenced by my comment on your post earlier. You said it's a Lemmy and whiskey kinda night and posted a screenshot
And
of,
you were listening to your podcast
I
that
was
wasn't
listening
ours.
to a stand well, I mean, ours isn't out yet. Also, I don't like listening to myself. I mean, I
Yeah,
did a
I don't
podcast
either.
for, like, a year. It was weird to listen to myself.
Y No, I'm with you on that. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, "Do you listen to your own music?" And I'm like, "Nah." Like,
Nah,
I no.
I
I
don't have we? No, we have well, no, we haven't listened to any finished records. Any
no.
cut and, any cut and printed records we haven't
Oh.
listened to. I mean, obviously, we've listened to some rough cuts, but
Yeah, I'll
we've
listen,
never
obviously, to mixes. I'll usually listen to masters for, like, 2 days,
yeah,
just to, like, okay, is everything exactly how I want it? But after that, the only time I listen to my shit is like, "All right, is this file good? Because 'Cause I'm technologically inept, and I'll give it, a
bad.
quick buzz through, but, like, I don't pull myself up on my phone and like, "Oh, yeah,
Mm-mm.
let me listen to Hey There, Cowgirl." I nah, dude.
Nah, no, that would be weird,
Yeah, it really would be.
you know, because
Hon
the go ahead.
honestly, when, like, I'm hanging out with friends or whatever, they're like, "Let's listen to your music." I'm like, "Sounds good." I'll be in the corner drinking. I'm like,
Right.
"Nah, I don't wanna."
No, I
It's
mean,
not
I
an ego
I get
thing.
it.
It's just I just I've put these songs out. I'm more concerned about, writing more shit and recording it.
Well, and I mean, you're not gonna get any inspiration from your own shit that's already come out of your head. You're
Yeah.
gonna get inspiration from somewhere else, from someone, or from, an experience that you've had or, something. And this that will we I need to write that down right now. Um, I'm actually gonna write it on the notes for our second guest. Hold on. Go ahead and talk. I'm writing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not that I hate the songs I've written or the songs I've recorded. It's just like I wrote this. We were joking about Um, Me listening to Lemmy and drinking whiskey tonight, but
Mhm.
they're I just I'm a musician. But I'm a musician out of being a music fan, so I want to listen to the bands that I enjoy. That's why,
Yeah. Oh,
and that's
absolutely.
another funny thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, I bet you listen to alternative and independent country all the time." And it's like, nah, dude, I'm a metalhead and a punk
Mm-mm.
rocker first and foremost. I'm going to be listening to the Ramones, Motorhead, Slayer, um, and realistically, I was a rodeo music fan before I was a true blue like country across the board fan. So it was always
Right.
Ledoux for me. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
And then grew up with a grandfather that loved Willie and Marty Robbins and
Well, I mean, how do you not?
Dave
I
Stamey,
mean,
that sort of stuff. Um, when we were at the Country Music Hall of Fame, it was hilarious because my wife was, uh, running up to exhibits when it was the more modern artist,
right.
and she's like, "Oh, this is so and so, this is so and so," and I'm like, "I have no clue who they are," but it wasn't out of disrespect. It's just
It's
I
not what
don't.
you listen to.
Yeah, it's something to listen to. Um, but granted,
Well, and you can tell that you don't listen to traditional country. And
yeah,
I put it in air quotes because that's what's played today as country music.
yeah,
You
mainstream. We'll say
yeah,
mainstream.
that's
I
about yeah,
mean,
mainstream. So, no, you can hear, in your music, you can hear the rock.
yeah.
You know, you we have, very heavy guitars.
Oh, yeah, I mean, what,
And
for
it's
all of 2021, we
yeah,
ran, what, 2 electric guitars
2
the whole
electric guitars,
fucking
yeah.
year, I mean,
Yep.
and one of them was a rock player. Actually, both of them were,
Both of them
neither
are.
of them were.
Both of them.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and we've
Well, I
changed
mean, Ryan turned out to be more of a blues player,
blues
but, I
guy,
mean,
but
he I honestly, to this day, still one of the most talented guitar players I've ever
yeah,
seen in my entire life, ever sat down and listened to, and just sitting there, that first time I heard him at practice, it was like he was just sitting there and he was just messing around, like, wasn't doing anything special, and he was just messing around, and I was just mesmerized
yeah, oh, dude,
by
when we had him in the studio because he was on the Prophets and Pain record,
Mhm.
you could not pry that guitar out of his hands. I'd be sitting there like, "Hey, dude, we're gonna go have a couple beers and go get in the river behind the studio because the studio backs right up to the Blanco River."
Right.
It was like, "Hey, do you want to come with us?" "No, I'm good." "Okay, you tired?" "No, I'm just gonna sit here and play." And he would crank that Marshall half stack in the studio up, and we would be 300 yards below the studio down in the Blanco, Bluetooth speaker playing on the side of the river, and you would hear him just whipping out like old friggin' John Lee Hooker licks or
Mhm.
friggin' Buddy Guy licks clear up in the studio. I mean, that's all he does is play guitar, but people are like, "Oh, wow, why is this kid so good?" Because all he does is play friggin'
All
guitar,
he does,
man.
and that's all he's ever wanted to do.
Yes.
I was sitting there talking to his mom, at one of the shows, and he has had a guitar since he was little,
Yeah.
and all he has done is watch YouTube videos and listen to music and played music, and it shows. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they talk about, some of the most successful people in the world talk about you put in, if you really wanna become an expert at something, you gotta put in at least 10,000 hours. He
Yeah.
probably has that and more playing a guitar, and he's 20, well, we're gonna call him 23 because he spent his 21st birthday with us in Vegas,
Yep.
but, he's young, but
He's
he has those 10,000 hours. I'll guarantee he has 10,000 hours
yeah.
in 10 years. Yeah, he's got
And I don't want to use the term that he was too good for our band because I feel like that's a little egotistical. Um, but we were not. I mean, we're a honky tonk band. We're a country
yeah,
band. The licks are the same. We're heavy on the guitar, but the licks are the same. The motif, if you will, of how we write is pretty much we've established what we sound like.
Yeah.
He needed to go to an outfit that gave him room for him to really, really just fly off the cuff when he was playing, which
Yeah.
we have the ability to do that with our outfit. I mean, for God's sakes, Johnny, you never know what he's going to play from night to night. You just know it's going to sound good. But
Right.
Ryan, as good as he is, needed to go to a blues band or a jazz band or a
Oh,
classic
yeah.
rock band where
Something
he
where he
could
could just
where he could
let
run
loose.
4 or 5 minute long solos,
Yeah. I mean, and, there are times during our show that we could do we could get away with 1, 2 minutes maybe, but, not anything like he has now.
Oh,
So
dude, you
and
could tell when
I'm
he
super damn proud of him. I'll tell you
oh,
what,
me
a
too, man.
am I sad that he's not in our band anymore? Abso-frickin-lutely.
I
I
keep
I wish
texting him
he
though.
would.
I'm like, "Reunion show. We are doing a
Mhm.
reunion show."
I
Because I
mean,
mean,
we're in the area.
you could tell, like, when he was with us, we'd run through, like, say, I don't know, Wild Horses,
Mhm.
and he would get his big solo because 'cause we're wrapping up, the show. That's what we ended
Right.
with at the time,
Yep.
and he would murder it, but you could tell he still had, like, 60 to 70% more in the
Oh,
tank.
yeah. Yeah. No, he was not done.
No.
Not done in any way, shape, or form.
And it was like, part of me was like, "I wanna let you keep going because not because of the crowd, but because of me. I just wanna hear what else you got
Oh, yeah.
left
No.
in there."
I was sitting there, when I not paying attention to shit when he would rip things.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I did get a couple of solos on camera because, after a couple shows, because I knew when they were gonna happen, so I would just shut down merch booth, I would go to the stage, and I'd try to get him on camera, so just because, I'm gonna say it again, I mean, I'm gonna say it probably till the day I die, he is literally one of the most talented guitar players I've ever listened to, live or recorded ever,
Yeah.
so and that's no knock on anyone that I've ever seen live or recorded. That's just props to Ryan. He was stupid good.
Yeah, no, he's ridiculously, ridiculously talented. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny's the same way, and
Mhm.
not to shift gears, but a little bit, but Johnny's been playing steel since he was 12, 13, 14, something like that, and people are always
Right,
like,
and
"How is
and
he?" They're
he's
like,
10
"How
years
is he
old.
s" Yeah, and they're like, "How is he so good?" And I'm like, "This is all he does." Like,
Mhm.
take the fact that he's blind out of the equation. If I put you on a mandolin for 10, 15 years and say, "This is all you're allowed to touch for the next 10, 15 years,"
Yeah.
you're gonna be a monster at it. Like, and that's why Johnny's the way he is, and I was actually going back and looking at a video of, us at a show in Nebraska. We were at Buck's Bar and Grill. Shout out
Mhm.
Buck Bennett, love you, dude.
Yep.
And, Johnny's big solo at the end of the night, and that video comes up. I never realized how fast his feet are moving on the pedals on that
Oh,
thing until I watched
ridiculous.
it.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah,
He looks like a
and
damn tap dancer.
and that was his crappy steel, and he
Yeah.
and that that's
That was
that
the one
that's not me
we
shit.
picked up.
Yeah, that's his backup one that he hates using,
Yep.
and it only has, like, 4 or 5 pedals. His
Got
main
4.
one, 12
Mhm.
pedals, and
Yeah.
his new one, he has told me, has more.
Um,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was talking to him the other
Yeah.
day, I'm like, "Oh, you got your new steel?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Alright, what are you excited about it?" And he's like, "Well, it's lighter, and it's got more pedals." And I'm
It's
like,
lighter? Well,
"More?"
thank God, because his steel that he used, that I mean, not that it was super heavy, it was heavy.
Oh,
It was heavy.
his main one will
Yeah.
make you wanna cry. That thing
Oh,
weighs
you.
what? No, his main one, what, at least weighs 70?
70, 80 pounds easy
Yeah, yeah. I
all
mean,
day.
it's
70, 80 pounds.
it'll whip your
So,
ass.
I mean, whip
But
your ass is,
oh,
you know,
shut up, Captain lifts a trailer
multiple times. Just saying.
multiple times.
Just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
not
apparently
bragging.
venues we book don't know how to understand that we just need a spot to parallel park.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And speaking of, yeah, Colorado City
Yeah,
parking for RVs is not
we
long RV and trailer friendly. Just
we love you
for people.
guys. We love
Love
you,
it.
but
However,
however,
however, I mean, we
um,
made it work. We made it
we
work.
made it
You
work.
know. However,
Yeah, it was
you
Colorado
know, it,
City, and then where else did we end up having to hand haul?
well, we hand hauled it at the ranch. We hand hauled it. Well, I hand hauled it
Dylan,
at
you
the
did.
ranch. Um, and then where did there was one other? Oh no, it was down at
Dylan, you
down at
had to.
no, it wasn't Dylan.
I thought you had.
Um,
Well, no, I was already gone by then because I got swept
yeah,
away.
it was down at Punchy's. We had to lift it
Really?
because yeah, because I had to run. I had to make a run back to the house because someone forgot something.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yep.
Yep.
And shout out to Punchy. That was a fun night.
That really was. Other than the opener that was like, yeah, I was signed to Sony Records for.
Oh God,
Yeah, remember him?
I forgot about that
I
guy.
was signed to Sony Records for 15 years, but I left it because you know how that life
Well,
goes. No, not at
you know
all.
how the music industry works,
Yeah,
or you know how
no,
that
not at
goes.
all. We would be killing for a
Sir.
Sony Records.
No, no, I don't know how that
I
works
don't.
because I would give this arm for a Sony record deal, and I got, a lot of hours into
That
work on that arm.
that the same gig that Daniel went. Man, there ain't been this many rednecks on stage in Arizona since the Battle of Picacho Peak.
No, that was the next night at the
No,
Roadrunner.
that might have been that night because the next night was when security. Can we get away with telling the story?
I mean,
When security said kick the miners out.
oh, yeah, no, we probably shouldn't. We should probably, keep that one under well, I mean, it's after the fact.
Yeah,
What are they gonna do now?
yeah.
I mean,
The promoter and the owners were there. We can get away with it. So we were playing in
and
Arizona.
we're, well, you're better friends with the promoter,
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
we're all fairly good friends.
Yeah. So we were playing in Arizona at a very, very big show. And Daniel, old country from Kentucky, who lives in Arizona, was playing guitar for us.
I need to preface this, named Country while he still lived in Kentucky.
Yes, was nicknamed Country while he lived in
While
Kentucky.
in Kentucky. That's how
Yeah.
country is. Continue.
So if you haven't been to one of our shows, last song I walk off stage kind of midway through. If we get an encore, we get it, but otherwise I just walk off stage. And security is standing side stage and they yell up on stage, can one of y'all get on the mic and let the miners know they need to leave the venue, but anyone over 21 can stay? And we see Country walk towards the mic, and you can actively see everybody in the band, plus his wife, plus Jake, plus anyone involved with our organization going, no! And he grabs that
Mhm.
mic and he goes, hey, y'all have a good time tonight. And the crowd goes, ah. And he goes, how many of y'all got them black X's on your hands? And a bunch of people go, ah. And he goes, get them up in the air. And the crowd goes, ah. And he goes, y'all having a good time? And they go, ah. And he goes, good, get the fuck out. It's time for the adults to start playing.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Yep.
Uh, I was I didn't know what to do. Country's a big boy, just for future reference. He makes me look skinny.
Yeah.
and I'm not skinny. I'm not small, and country makes me look small.
You know he
Country's
has a
just a big
twin.
dude. What? There's
He has
2
a
of him?
twin. No,
There is
well,
2 of him?
they're fraternal. She's a female, but I have a
Okay,
feeling.
okay.
But I have a feeling if it's a twin's a twin. Like,
Well, I mean, weirder shit's happened.
yeah.
She probably looks like Cindy Crawford. That
I
kind
wouldn't know. I just know that I found out the other day. He's like, "Yeah, I got a twin." I was like, "There's two of you? Fuck."
That's a terrifying thought.
No, extremely, extremely.
And no, you were not hallucinating. Addison had some technical issues.
I
He had
did,
some
I
he
did.
had some technical difficulties. So, when he rejoined, I got my spot back, in the right side of the screen. So, you're not hallucinating, don't worry.
No, you're not. Unless you took a massive amount of shrooms, then yes, you are
Then you
hallucinating.
might be, and we don't look like we look, so you're welcome.
What's that?
Bah,
What's that TikTok? I'm a
fuck,
snake.
that hurts. I gotta I gotta not do that for a couple days. I just had some dental work done.
Yeah,
So,
no shit. Root canals are a son of a bitch, ain't they?
yeah, they are. They are. So, but, you know, is what it is. Got shit
Yeah.
fixed. It feels, other well, I mean, I had it filled today, so not the root canal itself, but the empty shell of a tooth. That was fun.
Oh, I
Um,
bet.
it actually doesn't feel terrible. Like, all the numbing shit has worn off, so, I expected way worse. It
Mhm,
obviously hurts back where they injected the anesthesia, but,
mhm.
you know, I mean, I expected way worse, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So and, I mean,
Well,
the tequila might have helped, so we'll see.
tequila. Yeah, I think when I go to do episode what 4, is that our next one?
Well, I mean,
I mean,
recording-wise, yes, but
yeah,
release-wise, who knows? I mean,
who
we
knows?
may hold on to Troy's episode for a while, just
Yeah. Either way, when I go and do it, I think I'm gonna bust out the good shit.
well, fuck you too.
Well, you know
You're gonna
what?
bust
If
no, no, nope, I don't wanna hear anything that
not,
I don't wanna hear a damn word you gotta say right now. Nothing,
oh hush, you'll live.
nothing. Nope, no, I may die. You never know.
Fool, I figured out our Alaska plans today. I don't want to hear nothing.
2 shits. You're breaking out the good Pendleton. Hey, where is Pendleton, by the way?
Oregon.
Right. It's an hour from me, and
Hmm.
you're gonna break out the good Pendleton without me being on the show. Whatever. I see how your loyalties
Well,
lie, sir.
maybe if you'd actually make the show.
Let's see. It's 8:30 on a Friday night.
Fair enough.
Mhm. Exactly. I mean, not like I got big, plans,
And folks,
but
that is the level of commitment I have to our podcast is I am
as
willing to give
the
up my
level of
Friday night
patheticism
plans.
that he has to his life. Let's be
I
honest.
am willing to give up my Friday night plans to interview our badass guest
Well,
while someone has to go deal with his personal life.
sorry that I'm cooler than you.
I feel
Mm.
like people are not ready for just the level of shit talking that is going to go on through this entire program.
No, no, they're really not. The first few episodes have been very, very mild as far as
They
shit talking.
they
Um,
really have. No, I
Addison and I
agree.
truly talk to each other like we are brothers. Like we were raised in the same house. We were raised, together for years and years. W we weren't.
Yeah.
And not in any way, shape, or form were we raised together. Oh, well, shit. Well, maybe it's time to sign off.
Yeah.
We're both empty, so
Speak for yourself. I brought a backup, fool.
well, I mean, I brought a backup of water because, you know,
Fair enough.
hydration. I mean, you're basically drinking water too, so
Yeah. But yes, maybe indeed time to sign off.
yeah.
So,
Alrighty, sir. Well, you
alrighty.
know, we'll talk to you again next week.
Yes, indeed. And I will be returning with updates from the big interview
Yes.
this weekend. Or yeah, weekend. It'd be Friday. So this weekend.
I look
So
forward to it. I look
yeah,
forward
man.
to it.
And we got some updates for our listeners if things go according to plan in the next week, as far as
Mhm.
maybe out,
Announcements.
some announcements outside of studio activities.
There we go. That's gonna be so much
Yes.
fun.
Oh, it's gonna be so
So
fucking
much
awesome.
fun.
We'll talk about it backstage, as it's called on the platform.
Yeah.
So
Alrighty, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I know we got a lot of long-winded tonight, but did we really? Because we only took short road trips on that, on the
yeah,
roads that we took, the rabbit holes that we went down. So thanks
indeed,
for
indeed.
tuning in. Leave us a comment, leave us a rating, and you know, just have a great day.
Yes, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to listen to Slayer. I don't know why. I'm gonna just choose a different band every week. This week, don't forget to listen to Slayer.
Slayer.